Hey everyone, and welcome to week 10 of my Achilles non-operative rupture journey and the road to recovery. So week 10, if you saw my previous videos 8 to 9 and you haven't seen them, I'll link them up here, one of the sides, so you can have a look and see how I started week 8 and 9. But week 10, so it's going okay. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling stronger, I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling positive. The Facebook group I spoke about in my previous video still helps a lot. You see a lot of people with some positive stories. Some people have come back after 2 years, 3 years posting and saying how well they're doing in that, which is great to see. And then there's the odd few that are not doing so well. But again, everyone is different, so don't compare yourself to everyone else. Everybody's got a different body size. You've got different types of tendons. Everything is different. Your diets are different. Your lifestyles are different. Your activity levels are different. So you can't say, well, if he's got the same injury as me and he's at this many weeks, why am I not that far? So take it in your own time. Do it slowly. Listen to your physios and, just be positive and you'll get there. So week 10, I've been taking it slow. I've been doing my exercises as in week 8 and 9 that I showed you in the previous video, and I have stepped up a bit to do a bit more, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video is increasing the intensity of the exercises. And I also want to talk about nutrition and vitamins and things like that, which might help with the aid of healing the Achilles. So let's get into the video. I'm going to show you the exercises first, and then I'm going to talk about some of the vitamins and things that I'm taking to try and help with the tendons and everything like that. So let's have a look and see what I've been doing. So here I start walking without my shoes and socks. So you can see my injured leg is the right one, and this is the type of walk that I'm able to do now. So I can take a few steps. You can still see the limp, which is there. It's not massive. You can see the size of my ankle isn't that much bigger than my other ankle, but my other ankle is still swollen from a previous injury from years and years ago. But you can see the Achilles on the right is quite swollen. It doesn't look quite straight compared to the one on the left. And you see when I'm balancing here, you can see my left ankle bone sort of pops out to the left quite a bit when I wobble, and the wobbling is quite hard, and you can see the calf doesn't really engage. Now, the calf stretch that I showed previously with using the kickboard of a kitchen cabinet or underneath a table or something that gives you that extra space, you don't get too much stretch. That I'm finding quite easy, and now I'm lining my toes up with the cupboard straight, and I'm just reaching the front with a bit of stretch, but I'm getting there, and I do a few of those, and then the walk that I did in the beginning actually gets quite easy. And again, putting a ball down, just loosening up underneath the foot, that really helps. It does make it feel nice. Sort of feels like someone's massaging the bottom of your foot. So doing that, I do it on both feet because it feels quite nice. So if you have a ball, roll out your foot a bit. It does loosen up the underneath side of your foot, and it does make some of the exercises a bit easier. Now this is the double ball that I spoke about previously. So this you can use, and it rubs both sides of the feet. As you can see, the outer side of my foot there by my baby toe, and also you'll see when I turn now it rubs on the inside where the arch of your foot is. So that works quite well. And yeah, do that for a couple of minutes just to loosen things up. The other thing I use this for, also if I lay on the floor with my legs out in front, is sort of a massage. So you can see the little indent sort of fits over the Achilles, and it sort of massages next to it. So that's actually quite nice. You can see it gets right into the calf. You can obviously press as hard as you want or whatever you are comfortable with, and that just sort of loosens things up as well. I spoke to the physio and she says that's fine to do. So so that's a good one to do. The next thing I wanted to show you is the wedges that came in the boot. Now those are the 3 wedges that I used to have in that I don't use anymore. I only wear my boot when I go outside. But I think a good thing to do here is to elevate your toes to just get a bit of stretch. So you can do this seated or standing, and then just do a bit of a calf stretch, lean forward, pushing your knee over your toes, and then lifting your toes up to get that stretch again. So that's quite a nice one. I do that sitting at my desk while I'm working. So that helps loosen things up again. And if you've got the wedges, it's actually quite a cool thing to use instead of just putting them aside with the boot when you don't use it anymore. Now, you'll see here I've got a balance cushion. It's made of rubber. It's got a little valve. You'll see, I'll show you that now. And you can pump this up as hard as you want or as soft as you want. And basically it's similar to those balance boards that you use at physio in the gyms. So this is quite good to get the movement back into the ankle. So I stand and I also sit quite a lot during the day when I work. So I just rest my foot on there and press down and just roll my ankle left and right and round and do rotations. And you can see how my ankle bone on the left side pokes out. So I think the stabilizer muscles need a bit of work here. And this is really good as well for that, because it does create some resistance, pushing down on the pillow or cushion, whatever you want to call it. And it does create some, pressure back, from the air moving around, which is quite nice. So doing that does help loosen it up. The other thing I do seated as well as standing is sort of pressing the accelerator on a car, like my previous video where I showed you pressing down on a bin pedal to open up the bin lid. This helps nicely. I can't lift my foot really high, so you can see I sort of lift my toes up a bit, but that pressing does engage the calf, so you can see slight twitches on my calf where my hands are now. You can't, from the top I can see it more, but from here it's sort of a bit difficult. I'll zoom in for you guys. So that really helps, and you press and hold for a few seconds, and I do feel the burn in my calf and just above the Achilles, sort of where I have that freckle. So the same thing seated. This one I think I feel more because it's more like in the driving position. I can't lift my foot as high, as you can see when I'm releasing. So my toes lift up as far as I can go, and then I press down and you can see the calf engaging again. And again, doing the balancing, while I'm seated, I press my foot around, get the joint moving nicely in the ankle. I push forward and I give it some pressure. I push back as far as I can go and push down as hard. I go left and right. And I'm putting quite a bit of pressure down to just create that strength and resistance. So it would help with the muscle getting a bit stronger and all the stabilizer muscles as well. So to stop the shaking. And eventually I'll be balancing on this with my injured leg. So that will be coming up in a few weeks' time. So I'm positive about that. Charlie wants this toy. He thinks it's a toy. He loves footballs and that, so he wants to play with this. Another exercise with this pillow or cushion is to press it between your toes, so there's resistance of the air pushing back. And when I lay it down, it's also quite tough to do it like that. You can see my foot where Charlie is pushes in further compared to my injured foot on the other side. So you can see the strength difference. And that works really well. So it builds the pushing inwards with the toes, like a windscreen wiper movement. That helps. And to do the outer movement of a windscreen, I've got these small rubber bands that I use for all my other injuries that I've had in the past. This is the weakest band that I have. So I'm starting off nice and easy. And you just sit and you create the resistance and push outwards like a windscreen wiper. Charlie wants these as well. He likes the sort of rubbery texture of these things. He thinks these are cool toys to play with. So you'll see me pushing him away a bit in this video. But that really helps. You can see with my left foot, the one with my toes facing up compared to my injured foot, my big toe seems to point down now. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because of the injury and or the muscles that aren't strong enough. It's just I find that a bit strange that I can't sort of replicate the same look on both feet. Moving on to a stretch, the same elastic. You can get bigger elastics, which I do have. I'll show you in the next videos that I'll come out with. Doing some calf pressing again, accelerator pressing. Charlie enjoys my toes and socks. He steals all my socks and he wants to play again. So So pressing down gives you some resistance again on the calf, and then pulling up as well gives you that stretch. So the straighter your leg is, the more stretch you get. But obviously if you do this, just be really careful not to stretch too far. You don't want to go too far and then re-injure yourself. So that's another good exercise that I've been doing. It helps quite a lot. I do feel the stretch, and again it does help with my walking afterwards. I don't feel as tight with the limp. And another variation of this is to push down again, sort of like the accelerators. You're pushing straight down, the resistance is going straight up from your arm, holding the band, and that's another great exercise to do. So I feel I've improved. I feel I'm getting stronger. I've actually got a private physio session tomorrow, so I'll be interested to see what she shows me. Yeah, I'll definitely update you guys in the next video. Now, moving on to diet and nutrition. So these are the supplements and minerals that I'm taking, and vitamins that I'm taking now. So vitamin C, vitamin D, omega, glucosamine sulfate, turmeric apparently is very good for tendons and ligaments, and then also this joint ace collagen, which is also glucosamine with vitamin C, E, B, ginger extract, and D. So I take those, as well as whey protein. So this is a type of protein I'm taking. This is just a keto one. I go through various diet whey proteins and bulk whey proteins. So I do take those, and all of that does help with healing. So yeah, I think from a diet point of view, if you guys are looking at to aid your healing, maybe you can look at some of these vitamins and minerals. But I can say that it would probably help a little bit, but if you have a good diet, nothing will replace that. If you have, a good assortment of vegetables and fruit, leafy green veggies, if you do eat meat, varied meat and fish and things like that, where you can get all these nutrients and that, a diet will be the best thing to do. So if your diet's up to scratch, then that will help, but these things can just help if you don't have that varied diet. So that's what I'm doing. A lot of people do swear by it, that these things help. Some don't. So again, everyone's different. It's what works for you. But I'm trying everything to try and help with this healing process. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with vitamins and minerals and things like that. So that was week 10 with regards to my exercises, as well as nutrition and vitamins and things like that. Now, again, everybody's different. This is what I'm doing. I'm not saying you have to do these exercises. This is just what I've adapted and I'm feeling comfortable with, and what I'm able to push myself to do. I'm feeling positive with these. Again, with the supplements and that, you don't have to take anything if you don't want to. But I do stress, try and have a really good diet. Try and get those, veggies and all those good wholesome foods into you, because it does help your body. Because like they say, you are what you eat. So do that. It will help. And yeah, just stay positive. You'll get there. I'm feeling much stronger. When I look back at some of my older videos and the way I was on the video, I was really depressed and down and sad and annoyed and irritated. And yeah, all those emotions do go through you. I guess it's just the process that you have to go through with this kind of injury, because it's such a terrible one to have, because it takes so long, and it involves with walking and mobility and stuff like that. So take it easy. I will be on the chat group if anyone's watching this from that. If you want to ask any questions, I'm non-operative, so I don't know anything with the surgery kind of side of things, but I can try and help. But yeah, I'm going to be seeing the physio again tomorrow, the private physio. Well, not again, but it's the first time. And yeah, I'll see what she has to say. And I will share the information with you guys on the next video that I'm going to do, which will be week 11. And I hope this was helpful. I hope it answers some of your questions. And I will see you guys next week for week 11. So keep going, and you can do this. Cheers.